Alright, welcome back to another video. In this one, we'll be going over the new Fate update. It's not really that new. The winter update comes out, like, I think the same day this is getting uploaded, so sorry about that. It took me a while to get around to this just because raids are boring. I did not really enjoy playing raids. They take a while, and you had to play them for all 4 units, like, to get their evo items and stuff, so it was time consuming. And Universal Tower Defense released its early access, which I did AFK for, so I was playing that as well. So hopefully I will get a video up on Universal Tower Defense soon as well. I have a guild in Crusaders. I don't know how you join guilds, but feel free to. If you want. I would not expect to see me at the top of my own guild leaderboard, I'll be honest. I don't participate. Like, I play when updates come out, but that's about it. But if you want to join, absolutely feel free. Again, I don't really know how if that works, if I have to invite you or whatnot. But yeah, this video is a little bit on the longer end because I yapped a lot. I cut out as much as I could, and here I am yapping a lot again. Let's get into the video. The units are all actually pretty cool. I just wish they didn't do raids again. I'm hoping they do some unique modes for these next few updates. That's really where this game is failing right now, is in modes. Let's get on with the video. So I got everybody evoed. I'm gonna do some last rerolls on him, some last stat rolls on whoever I can, and then I'm just gonna get everybody showed off. This video, I think, will go up the day of the new update. It should be early that day. I should be doing the video early that day, though, hopefully. So Gilgamesh, this is the last call for Crusader on him for right now. I'm gonna have no rerolls for the next update. I gotta do Infinity Castle, which I will do this update. Maybe. I've been playing a lot of the... What have I been playing? What's it called? Universal Tower Defense. I've got the 2-day early access to that. It has been very fun. I'm a bit stuck right now because I can't get my my Evo materials very easily, and it's been kind of a slow grind since then. But the story was very easy to do. I've liked the units, and like all the modes feel pretty good. I'm just gonna take it. I don't think I'm hitting Crusader in 21 rolls, and I at least want to show him off with a decent... I'm like just waking up, so... Apologies. Oh, I need to roll his damage stat for the like 20th time. Give me an S, and I can move on. Bro. Alright, yeah, that's a good look into my luck on stat rolls, in case anyone's like curious about it. It's pretty much like that every time. I do think you'd want Crusader on him. I can't be certain. I haven't really used him yet. What? Cosmetics. So this is Gilgamesh, just cosmetic. If I can like find a picture of his shiny somewhere, I will, obviously credit whoever it's from, and I'll throw it up because it did look pretty cool. We have Saber does not have one, Spear does not have one, and she does not have one. Okay, he's the only unit of these 4 to have a cosmetic. That is fine. I wish it had the armor, man. But I guess I don't know if the shiny has the armor either. I just know the shiny has this gigantic thing that I saw. Assuming, because I know the guy had the shiny, because I saw him with it. But it was huge, with this big boat-looking thing that he had. Actually, I realized that was a good thing, because ow, my ear. That was a good thing because I forgot to show the Gilgamesh cutscene, and I would not have remembered. Let me... Music volume's off. Good. We're gonna put it on 3. Oh, it's playing on 2 tracks. Let's not do that. Property. Why is it? We'll just mute that one. Okay. cutscene. I realized I didn't record me evolving him, so I don't have his evo cutscene. This is really loud for me, so I'm just going to stop talking. All right. Actually, that is the cutscene that plays new evo him. He had a cutscene pre-evo. I don't know if it was the same one. I didn't look at the time, so if it is different, that's my bad. Oh, I almost forgot to actually get her down. So, Lady of the Battlefield, she doesn't have either of these passives pre-evo. She gains 25% crit chance, 25% crit damage, and for every critical hit gains 15% damage and 15% or 1% damage and range up to 15%. This is fine. The problem is with her being magic, you can't put the inverted spear on her, which means it can be kind of slow to stack those up. But as you can see, she procced it twice there. Which means that it's per enemy she crits, not just per attack that crits, which is pretty nice. Her crit rate went up. Oh, right. Every wave she gains one of the following blessings. Blessing of Power, plus 20% damage. Blessing of Swiftness, 15% cooldown. Blessing of Stars, 25% range, which is what she has now. And Blessing of War, 30% crit chance. And if she gains the same blessing 2 turns in a row, that blessing buff is doubled. Which is pretty cool. I believe she is 4 placement. I also believe she is currently bugged. I think her last upgrade does not work. Like, you take her to this upgrade and she stops attacking. Which kind of sucks. But it's not like the worst thing in the world. Oh, I don't have animations. I do this every time, I swear. It's because when I'm playing by myself, I just don't have them on. She shoots out a little, like, magical bolt or whatever. Divine Barrage. It's like 3 blue, like, or yellow. I know colors, I swear. Wait, how much damage is she doing? That is not correct. That might be how she's bugged. She does not do the correct amount of damage. And then Galactic Gate, which I'm, again, 90% sure does not work, because it has no AoE circle, and she just stops attacking. Regardless, her DPS is really good, especially for a heal with 4 placement, and I think she's relatively cheap. 1,000 to place, 40,000 to max. Yeah, that's relatively cheap. Again, final upgrade does not work. Move on to Spear, who I think is the best unit so far this update. He is crazy good. So let me put him somewhere better. Yeah, just a lunge forward. I do have the inverted spear on him just because he's going to be the unit you're running on. You're running it on somebody else now. Kind of forgot that his first passive makes it so he gains 50% crit chance, but spear can only target the strongest enemy in range. It's fine once he starts clearing enemies out. We'll put Gilgamesh down, but I'm not going to look at him. Then Ruin Burst, Ansa's Ignition. Upon landing a crit hit, he activates 1 of 3 runes for 20 seconds. Ansa's Spear gains 35% damage. Raido, Spear gains minus 25% cooldown. And Yera, Spear gains 130% bleed damage. He can have all of these active at the same time, but he cannot stack the same rune. The thing is, his DPS doesn't look crazy. Like, I think at first glance at it. I don't know if he's activated the damage buff yet. Because Idle would... I clicked on Idle, hello? I wish she had a pass somewhere that told you how much she was buffing damage by. No, because I think... if he had procced the... See, sometimes he bugs. And I think that's what's happening there. Give me a moment. I don't think I should probably look at it. So yeah, there's like a leap and Okay, no, he did have them all stacked. It's because my stat's an A- instead of an A+ from what it was before. Then, see, it is a jump and then a slam. Astral Spear Bomb was the last attack he had, where he jumps up and just throws a big spear. So yeah, 24,000 DPS. I still, to this point, don't know if that includes bleed. Unfortunately, there's just really no way to know. But he's 4 placement with 24,000 DPS. He is insanely good. If that does count bleed, that's still decent. If it doesn't, he does 30% bleed, then buffed by 130% of... So the complicated part about this is the wording here is a little generic. I don't know if this is adding 130% bleed damage to what he already does. Like, if this is adding that percent flat. So does his bleed damage go from 30% to 160%? Because he's a mythic, I'm gonna go with no. I don't think that's what he's doing. Instead, I think this is going from 30% to, at 100%, you get 60%, and then I don't know what 30% of, 70% bleed damage over 3 seconds. And because his bleed ticks so fast, he can reapply it. I realize actually I have perfect SPA on him. He has 100% bleed upkeep. With all 4, I mean, you've got almost 100,000, you've got close to 100,000 DPS across all 4 of them. And then again, if bleed is not counted in that, just so much DPS on him. Like, this passive can be kind of a problem. I guess I realize his DPS also does not even count for his crits that he will be hitting most of the time. I've made a lot of inverted spears trying to get a maxed out one. I've got one that's good crit chance, but low damage buff. It's like 19% crit, but like 2.6% damage. Not that it really matters. Oh, and then Saber. Lots of range on Saber. I think that's how most of these games go. I need to put her close to the start. She does forward dash. Every 3rd attack is a guaranteed crit strike. Dragon Core every 10 kills gains 2.5% damage and 1.25% crit chance. You know, I should show the attacks first. Hold on, do the attack one more time for me. Yeah, dash forward and then a couple of slashes. Mana Breakdown. I think she'll take some time to stack. Maybe I should have done her first. And then do it one more time. Yeah, she does like a spin, like a tornado move. This was Mana Burst. Very large cone. I don't think the largest cone in the game, but it is pretty big. For a second, I thought she attacked out of her range. That was scary. So yeah, every 3rd attack is a guaranteed crit. Every 10 kills gains 2.5% damage and 1.25% crit chance. Max 45% damage and 22.5% crit chance. Then Divine Retribution. This is a decent passive, especially if you're doing like infinite farming or whatnot, or maybe it's good for Infinity Castle. I didn't really play it before. But she deals 30% damage to enemies under crowd control effects, which includes stun, freeze, time stop, and slow. So, stun, I don't actually know what units, I'm trying to remember. The only one I can remember is Shanks, and his is like an advanced version. I don't even think I have him anymore. Freeze is like Rukia, and I don't think there's a mythic unit that applies freeze, unless I'm not remembering somebody. Time stop, Kurami, and then slow could be Giyu or Blur. I think Giyu's the better of the 2, but I do like Blur for just the overall support she does. And then on crowd control kill, she gains -5% cooldown, max -15%. So after 3 kills, I assume, because there's no time associated with this, I just assume this is a permanent. She can stack 45% damage, 15% cooldown, and 22.5% crit. The thing is, Lancer has, you know, like 25,000 DPS. She still has some damage to stack, and technically she could stack cooldown. I might go and show that in a separate infinite, but just to show all these right now, I can't. I gotta let her stack up, so hold on. This should be... Okay, come on, get your last kills. Or wait. Oh no, she is maxed. It says 23%, but it's 22.5. I thought it's actually 25% for chances, my bad. So yeah, she's maxed. Obviously, get a little bit better stats on her. Things will look better here and whatnot. But I just get Spear. And Ishtar, once she's fixed, I think she might be the best heal. Don't quote me on that. Because I thought Daki was not a good heal unit. Granted, I have Crusader on her and she's 4 placement, so that definitely doesn't help my opinion. But apparently by the one tier list I saw, she's actually decent. And so is Cho'in. Okay, enough. Why do I keep... I'm yapping so much for having just woken up. I don't know how much of this is going to get edited out, but we'll see. So, Gilgamesh gains. So, Provable Treasure, he gets 50% crit chance, 50% crit damage. Again, only problem with this is that he is a magic unit. You cannot put the inverted spear on him. I believe I do have the arcane staff on him because they are his damage types. Do your regular attack, even though I think we've seen it already. Solid. Babylon Surge, which actually makes AoE smaller, but it hits. That's why he has 50% crit chance, because he hits like 47 times. Okay. This attack is called Babylon Barrage. Fine. He just launches, I don't know how many times it's King Rupture, which is a cone. That, I really wish I could tell how many times that was hitting. And then final upgrade, he gets active Enuma Elish. He also becomes hybrid, I believe, on upgrade 6, if I had to guess. He costs roughly 67,000 a max, assuming this bar here is even right. 16,000 DPS puts him above Saber, and I believe, so he deals 50% damage against enemy armor. He gains 3% damage and 1% range every wave after being placed, up to 30% damage and 10% range. So he's only stacked that twice so far. And then Enuma Elish, which is mainly why I want a Crusader on him, though he does do 151,000 damage without it, so he does a lot of damage. Granted, with his attack speed, not the best DPS. Enuma Elish, after activation, he deals 333% damage to all enemies in range, executes any non-boss enemy below 15% HP, and gains minus 20% cooldown for 45 seconds. Oh, so he flies up, and then large blast to everything in range. Now comes the... Okay, it is a global cooldown, so yes. Having... Just by activating it, his DPS goes to 20,000. Having Crusader on him would be ideal, because you can still only use it once every 200 seconds. I don't know if this makes him better than Lelouch's nuke, because I have Crusader on him, and that does, again, like 20 times Lelouch's damage, and he just does so much damage as well, with some support passives, instead of just being all about raw damage. I guess the difference is you can use this nuke multiple times, and Gilgamesh is probably better for DPS than Lelouch is. Alright, I can have 3. Let me let's get all 3 down for fun. So he's almost maxed out those. He's very good. I still have to say, I think Spear is better. Because, again, Spear does almost 6,000 more DPS. Not including crits, and I probably think not including bleed, because most games don't include DOTs in that. Because it wouldn't really work. So, yeah, Spear clears for DPS. I still think Gilgamesh is probably second. Ishtar is third. Not even that I think she's worse than either of these two. It's just she's... Saber's definitely at the bottom. That's really all I can say. Is I think skip Saber. Get Spear, get Gilgamesh, get Ishtar. Unless you really don't need a heal unit, and then maybe don't worry about it. Gilgamesh kind of feels like a must-have. I do want to show a maxed out Saber just to give everybody a fair chance. So I've kind of showed Spear maxed. The thing is, I can't properly grade Ishtar because, again, she's bugged. And her AoE thing, or like her last attack just doesn't work. So I don't know what the AoE looks like on it. For all I know, it could be really small, which would bring her down a lot, but I just don't know because it doesn't work. I think probably when this video goes up, that'll, it'll get patched in the update that comes out. And so I might put a comment on this video that talks about it if anyone's interested, or if I remember. Okay, we're gonna back out. I will go try and show off a properly maxed out Saber. So I believe I've stacked it all the way up, yeah, because 0.85. So her DPS goes to 17,535. Not bad. In Saber's defense, I think, is that Force Spear Overdrive would be one of his best traits. It's because it's either Overdrive for him or Radiant. So I technically have like his second best trait on him. On the other hand, for Saber, she'd benefit more from something like Eclipse, Crusader, Radiant. I don't think Overdrive does a lot for her. But also, when you're comparing a 4 placement unit to a 3 placement unit that have the same trait, the fact that their DPSs are 7,000 different per placement isn't great. Again, to Saber's credit, more area of effect, synergy with crowd control. I think technically would actually have higher DPS when she attacks a enemy under crowd control, but I don't think it shows me that number. But yeah, that's like the max potential of all the units there, I feel like. Obviously, if I had Crusader or whatnot on all of them, it'd be different. And I may still push to get Crusader on Gilgamesh because he seemed like he'd be very good with it. Overall, I had some time to think in that like pause that I did while I stacked that up on kind of like the usefulness of all these units and kind of what they're good at. Gilgamesh is a shield breaker. He hits so many times. Like, he's a shield breaker, he's got a good nuke, he's very good damage, very high damage, very good DPS. I feel like I should differentiate those two because, well, they are different. Spear is probably the highest DPS in the game. Maybe Power is higher still, I don't know. I entirely forgot about Power. She's still ridiculously strong with Blood Scythe. Because she does 35%, double it to set. You get 140% bleed, and she does stupid damage. Spear is actually probably better, though, because you don't have to stack up a bar. That's like her only disadvantage. So he's good AoE, always attack strongest, crits, huge bleed potential, crazy DPS. Saber's got good splash damage, like just good because of her gigantic cone she gets. A crit every 3 hits. Stacking damage, stacking crit. She can't stack cooldown if you run her with a crowd control, which I think most people probably do. I think I'm the odd one out on that. And I wish I could gauge her usefulness properly. I can't because her last attack does not work. But for a 4 placement heal unit, her DPS is very high. The fact that she can hit crits, and every time she hits crits, she can stack more damage and range, makes her a very good heal option. Because I think her range at base is not the best. I think that's kind of her weak stat, right? Yeah, 16.3. And I don't think it gets a lot better than that through upgrades, from what I remember. I don't know how she compares to the other hills, because I think Angel is good, just because a on-placement hybrid unit feels more valuable to me. Well, yeah, I mean, that's That's all the units. Next video will either be on Universal Tower Defense, the Infinity Castle units for this game, or possibly the winter, the mini winter update that comes out, I think the day this uploads, but tomorrow for me right now. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to please leave a like and subscribe, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for games you want to see me play, leave them down in the comments below. I'll check them out, check them out off recording, see if do I enjoy this? Do I want to make a video on it? Stuff like that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.